Focus on the macros, lots of data coming out next week, aside of course, the political outcome. Aditi Nair, senior economist at ICRA, joins us right now on the show. Good having you, Aditi. Thanks so much for joining in. Aside of the data that will come out, I think a lot of people are mainly looking out for the trade data numbers as well. That will be an important thing to watch out for. What's your expectation there? One, what do you expect exports and imports numbers to look like this time around?
Yeah. See, broadly, as far as the trade balance is concerned, we're expecting a number between 9.5 and 10.5 billion, so pretty flat compared to the last couple of months, and obviously a whole lot better than what we saw in April of 2013. A couple of reasons for that. One, last year, between March and April, there was a sharp month-on-month correction, and that partly had to do with the fact that a lot of the schemes and the incentives that had been extended by Government of India expired on 31st of March of 2013, and so to some extent, shipments were up-fronted in March, and that had an impact on the April export figure. And this year, we don't expect that the month-on-month correction is going to be nearly to that extent. So from, on one hand, you're going to have some support coming in from the export side. Secondly, of course, what we've been talking about all of last year, gold imports are likely to be sharply lower than the April 2013 number, and that itself would bring in a large correction as far as the trade balance is concerned. The third factor that we think is going to be important is the fact that crude oil imports in March were unseasonably large. I think the volumes were really out of line with what we'd seen in the previous couple of months. So perhaps, some easing of pressure on that account in April. So on balance, around a 9.5 to 10.5 billion kind of a trade balance number is what we're expecting. Broadly, we still expect the current account deficit for 2014-15 to be in the range of 40 to 45 billion. So a little bit of a deterioration as compared to the 33 billion odd number that we're expecting for FY14, but really much lower than what we saw in the previous couple of years.
Okay, that's a call on the macros, and continue to monitor the Nifty as we're currently sitting close to the day's high. Been a stellar move up of 120 points from the day's low. But Aditi, what of course we will be watching out for, in addition to the political outcome, will be the CPI and the WPI numbers also. What is it that you're expecting here, and how much of a bearing do you think is going to have on the market momentum, or do you think that we're completely going to ignore it, given that it's all of the political outcome that's going to be the main bearing?
So we have lots of data coming out next week between the trade and the IIP on the real side, and the WPI and the CPI on the inflation side, and I think all of these will have a short-term, very short-term impact. Possibly we're going to not get a lot of new news, particularly in terms of the IIP. We're expecting around a 1% contraction for March, which would bring us to a completely stagnant to a slight 0.2% of contraction on the IIP for the year as a whole. Not expecting to see any indication of green shoots as far as the IIP data is concerned. So, a lot of that is sort of known and accepted at this point in time. So, until the IIP really starts throwing up 4 to 5% manufacturing growth numbers for a few months in a row, I think, that's going to be sort of broadly in line with what we've been expecting, and possibly that kind of a manufacturing growth is at least another quarter away. So, probably more of the same as far as the IIP is concerned, the volatility on the capital goods side and contraction on the consumer durable side. There would of course be some base effects that would help in some specific industries, but not a broad sustained upturn that we're expecting at this point in time. As far as the inflation data is concerned, for the CPI, a slight uptick to around maybe 8.4% is likely for April. Of course, on the food side, particularly whatever we had seen from December onwards in terms of the vegetable price correction is now done and behind us. So it's going to be now the new seasonal trends that are going to have an impact, and month on month some uptick would be there as far as food items is concerned. That itself, of course, is 50% of the index, and that really sets the tone as far as the overall CPI number is concerned. For the other items as well, the stickiness that we've seen for a while would continue to play out. Of course, some easing would come in from the fact that the petrol price was cut in April and there was no diesel price hike, so at least some respite on that front as far as the fuel and transport inflation numbers are concerned. But overall, an 8.4% on the CPI, which is a slight uptick from the March 8.3%. Of course, going forward, the monsoon is really going to be the key thing to watch out for as far as the inflation trajectory is concerned.
Finally, Aditi, most of the market experts also we've been speaking to say that a clear economic agenda is the need of the hour from the new government. What policy initiatives do you think will really help kickstart the investment cycle?
I think first of all, as far as the reform agenda is concerned, we need some clarity both on the fuel side as well as on the taxation side. So in terms of both the policy and the clarity as far as coal mining is concerned, you know, whether it's auctions or some other method that is decided for allocation of blocks, as well as on the natural gas pricing, you know, a quick decision on that front, as well as some clarity on how that the implications for fertilizer subsidy as well as electricity pricing are going to be dealt with. And also whether the diesel price hikes are going to continue until the under-recoveries are wiped out. So, you know, on the fuel side, already there is a number of items that need to be addressed as far as the reform momentum and policy clarity are concerned. Similarly, on the taxation side, you know, whether it's the GST or a relook at the direct taxes code, you know, these would be some very important reform measures that industry will be looking forward to when they make their plans for the next couple of years. So I think in terms of prioritization, perhaps these would be some of the very important early reforms.
Okay, Aditi, great having you with us on the show. Thanks so much for joining in and giving us your views on the macroeconomic situation.